Good morning. I'm Layla George. I'm the president and CEO of Olmsted Parks Conservancy. Thank you so much for coming out on this beautiful spring day to join us for the ribbon cutting for this new Algonquin Park playground. I want to tell you a little bit about how this came to be. Every year, Olmsted Parks Conservancy works with Louisville Parks and Recreation and Jason Canuel and his team to identify capital improvements to some of our Olmsted parks that are a priority for both organizations and for the neighbors and the community. Last year, this playground was identified as a need for this park and this community, and so we go to the mayor every year. We have a meeting, list our capital requests, and this was one of the ones that was approved. So Jason and I worked. We came up with a design. He made sure it was installed properly and looking good, and now we have this wonderful new playground at Algonquin Park. So we hope to continue to have great capital projects in all of our parks. We know that the more playgrounds, the more amenities, the more usage these parks get, which is great for activation and safety in our neighborhoods. We have the privilege of having Chief Vincent James with us today, who is the chief community builder in the city, and he is going to talk a little bit about the project and some special news. Thank you.
Thank you, Layla. We are really excited when we think about this day. This is another shining moment in our community, in the history of our city, as we think about what is taking place in the continuing investment in our park system, in particular in our Olmsted Park system. When we think about our city values of lifelong learning, health, and compassion, it really comes together when we think about how our parks are interactive with the citizens of our community. You know, parks play a vital role in our community. I remember growing up in the parks. I used to run between Chickasaw and Shawnee Park, or play tennis in Chickasaw Park, and then when the sun continued to be down, I'm gonna ride my bicycle over here to Algonquin Park and swim in the pools. And as a kid, I never had to worry about anything because I knew I always had a park to go to. And I always had fun inside those parks. And it was really a vital part of my growing up and many of my friends who grew up alongside me. And thanks to the Olmsted Parks Conservancy for their continued investment and work. Just over last week, over 100 trees were planted in this park, and that kind of continued investment in our park system. Our city has an honor and a privilege to be able to house 18 Olmsted parks in our community, which is a critical role, a critical part of our community development. And there's work here in the playgrounds, not only here, but in other parks across the city, within West Louisville, Elliott and Boone Square. The Olmsted Conservancy has been a great partner with the city, and it takes these kind of critical partnerships to really develop and grow a city that is strong and powerful and has an opportunity to bring and connect communities coming together. And a special thanks to former Councilwoman Mary Woolridge for 16 years as a distinguished leader in this community in District 3 on the Metro Council, but in a total of 22 years, as she served also as an alderperson in our government. And we're excited about the work that she's done in our community and the legacies that she's left. She's truly been a fighter and an activist at heart, a champion of improvements in Metro hiring practices to the William Harrison Park, and including a local new soccer field and a better quality of life in Shively and in West Louisville. And because of her dedication and because of the work that she's done over 22 years in being a public servant, I'm honored today to be able to announce a special recognition that will forever be etched in the heart of this park and community in this city. As you see to my left, there's a bench over there with a covering on it. That bench is dedicated to the work of the Councilwoman Mary Woolridge. Let's give her a round of applause. This bench is just one more example of the shining, incredible service and the work that she has committed to our community. And thanks to the leaders of this city, thanks to Olmsted Parks Conservancy and this community as a whole, we really just want to say thank you in a significant way that people, every time you come in now that you're retired, you have a place to rest. Let's give another round of applause for former Councilwoman Mary Woolridge.
Good morning. I have never been speechless before. Anybody know me know I always have something to say. But this bench has just made me speechless. However, I would like to thank Olmsted Park. I would like to thank my colleagues. I would like to thank everyone for this recognition. I don't know whether I'm due this recognition, but when I visit this park, if anybody's on my bench, they're going to have to get off of it. Again, I would like to thank Sarah for inviting me and for Dr. Shanklin for continuing to remind me that you better be here. But I never thought, only thing I thought about was the playground equipment. And I know the young people and the children, this is a family park, and they will certainly enjoy this new playground equipment. So I'm looking forward to spring getting here and the kids getting out here in the afternoon and enjoying this equipment. And again, I'd like to thank everyone that had a hand in this, especially Olmsted Park, Reverend James, whom I've known probably the last 30 years, give or take. And Dr. Shanklin, she didn't tell me what was going on. She told me I just better be here. And I thought she was my friend, but I don't know after today. Again, thank you all so much. Thank you all.
And we're also glad to also have other council persons here, Councilwoman Barbara Shanklin, and also Councilwoman Keisha Dorsey. And so at this time, we're going to ask Councilwoman Keisha Dorsey to come to the podium and share a few remarks.
So Mimi is going to steal the stage with me today, but I brought her because this is our morning walk park. So she's very familiar with it. I want to start off with first thanking former Councilwoman Mary Woolridge. I think that when we look at that bench and think about what a bench provides for a community, especially in a park, a place of respite. And that's what she has certainly done and fought for District 3. So we thank you. My grandmother always said that you can trap more flies with honey than you can vinegar. I would say AP, as us youngsters affectionately call her, is a honeypot of this community. She lures you in with her shades of oak, and there's an orchestra pit in her branches with dueling black blackbirds, and I'm sure there are robins up there that are fighting. There's a joke in there somewhere. The wild onion found in the field lures your nose. The luscious greens and the glistening waters, whether it be through the pool or the spray ground, definitely capture your eye. This is the watering hole of this community. Though my years are short, AP and I have a long history. As a child, I have sat in the swings before my legs could even touch the ground, long enough to watch the battling pickup games on the basketball court, or my dad and my brother play horse for hours on end. My very first job was right there at Algonquin Pool as a cashier, and my twin brother's first job was here as a camp counselor for Metro Parks. AP is home for us. I used to cheerlead and dance with the teams that played football, Little League, back there on the backfields. So what am I trying to say? As the youngest only millennial sitting on the Metro Council, I was shaped under the tutelage of AP. Who knows what the children who may one day play on this playground and sit on this bench will one day be. But I know that if you invest in AP like AP invested in me, we, the city of Louisville, will soon see who the children who play in this park will one day be and bring to this community. Thank you.
Now we will have the official ribbon cutting. If you will follow us over here.
I can't see you, Jason.
Got everybody?
Yep.
1, 2, 3.
Nice.